Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're going to do another indie horror spotlight. Today I have the director, producer, writer, and he's the Hulk man himself in an upcoming slasher indie horror movie, The Butcher's Bluff. I have William Instone with me today. William, how you doing, my friend?
Great. It's hot as shit in Texas, so
hot as shit in Maryland, too, man. It's hot as shit in Maryland, too, man. It was like 99 degrees and humid today and tomorrow. Like, fuck. I thought the summer was over.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here in Texas, and it's still 89 degrees in my house.
Yes. So
we filmed in this shit.
Yeah. So I seen the trailer to Butcher's Bluff, man. It looks like a bloody, great, gory, good time. Tell us a little bit about your movie.
Well, it's an 80s slasher throwback film. It's like all the good things you loved about your favorite slasher film from the 80s or early 90s. The films that I grew up on and loved, those were what we were trying to emulate. And we've had a couple of test screenings, and apparently it has paid off because what we were trying to get across, people got it. So we got practical kills. We have 32 kills in this film.
Wow.
So all practical. We did a lot of nods to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Halloween, a little bit of Blair Witch Project, because it's basically not a found footage by any means, but the gist is there's UT, University of Texas, film school students go out to this small town to do their thesis film for film school about this urban legend or folk legend of the Hogman of Butcher's Bluff. And they're doing research, and they go out in the woods and they look for something they shouldn't be looked for. And of course, you have the crazy old guys warning them, don't go out there or whatever, and they don't listen. So every horror movie is based off of bad decisions, and there's a lot of bad decisions in the movie.
A lot of decisions.
Yeah.
So the movie takes place in Austin, Texas. Was it filmed in Austin?
Well, it takes place in a fictional town called Emerald Hills. It's outside of Austin, but they're from Austin, and they say they're from Austin. And yes, I live right outside of Austin, and I've lived here for a long time. I'm a native Texan, been here my whole life. So I tend to set everything in Texas, because we have a very unique landscape. You pretty much know when you see it, that's Texas. So, the state's very proud of its image. So there's a lot of the logo everywhere. And so, we filmed it a couple of small towns, just some shout outs. New Braunfels, Texas is where we filmed a lot of it. It's a little tourist town. There's a river down there. And we had a river house that we filmed a lot of it at. There's a little tiny hole in the wall town called Lexington. And we got most of our woods shots were out there. And the town of Giddings let us basically use their police station, all their cop cars.
Nice.
So it helps. We cast the chief of police as a deputy in the movie, so we had access to the whole police station. So, all the small town. That's where it's at. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'd be filming in the city.
I love Austin.
Austin's a great town, but again, it's for indie film. For the most part, they leave you alone. But if you're trying to get a permit and stuff, it's going to be a pain
in the ass.
So I definitely like to set my films in small towns because they're a hell of a lot more easygoing and willing to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
So Fear the Walking Dead was actually shot in my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but the town I live in now. They're always filming out here. They recently moved this last season, but up for like 4 seasons in a row, they're always shooting Fear the Walking Dead out here. So it was these small towns just make it easy to film in.
It really does. I mean, I came from a small town as well, and everybody films there. But quick question. So, how long did filming take? I know right now. I mean, you got some. By the way, I heard you guys got some rave round of applause at the Houston Horror Convention. So.
We didn't screen at Houston Horror Fest. I go there every year as a guest, You know, and I, because you know, those are good dudes, and I've been with them since the beginning. You know, it's just my backyard pretty much. I'm like 2 hours from Houston, so it's an easy drive. We did a test screening. We did a test screening in Houston, and yeah, it sold out. I mean, we've done 5 test screenings. We've sold every one of them out. On YouTube, if you look up Butcher's Bluff, there's a testimonial video on there that we use for people who saw the film from different screening times, basically giving reviews on what they thought about it. So yeah, it's been successful so far. You know, if you're an indie filmmaker, you could do test screenings. It's really going to help you, because I've had to edit quite a bit after, you know, you get feedback. The fans are honest, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you what you think, and a lot of times they're right. I'm like, shit, that was right. Maybe I do need to trim that down. Because, you know what? I'm the writer and the director and the editor. Let me put that. I co-wrote and co-directed and co-produced. I mean, I had people helping me. I didn't do it all myself, you know. But I am doing those jobs and doing a lot of it. So you have that, plus you're the editor. You have to kind of take those creator hat off and become an editor. And there's a lot of times you'll have the scenes that you're in love with, but then you have to ask yourself the question, does this scene move the story along? Does the scene work? Does the movie work without this scene?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is ever yes, then you have to cut it. Even if it's a beautiful scene and it can add a little bit, but if the movie works without it, you got to cut it. So yeah, that's one of the hardest things about being a writer, director, editor, is that you have to trim your babies and can't throw them out, you know.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
so from now, how long did it take you to write the script?
Well, I got with writing friend Winfield Rasputin. Look him up. He's a Houston-based writer. We'd known each other for a while. We wrote a western together called 36 Notches, and we won the Platinum Award right there.
Did right there.
At World Fest, the Platinum Award for the best historical script. It was pretty gory, except for Punisher set in Western times, Civil War times. So it was pretty gnarly. And we started talking about writing another script together, and I had this idea of wanting to do an 80s slasher film. And I had this script, Butcher's Bluff, you know, for a long time, but it was completely different than what we worked on. We ended up coming up with like this whole new twist on everything and creating the Hogman. So long story short, we probably started writing it around, I have to say, 2015. So yeah, it's about a year and a half of writing. And then a long time of trying to get the money together to make it. And
that's always
it took a while, but we finally were able to do an Indiegogo crowdfunding. We failed miserably the first time we did it, because we didn't know how to do one properly. And once we finally learned how to do it, I was able to really network for years. I was going to horror conventions. I'd wear the Hogman suit. I was handing out cards, handing out flyers. We eventually made a fake trailer. I spent $500 and made a trailer that looked, you know, I just shot the scenes that were in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it mapped, and everybody thought it was a real movie. So at that point, I was able to tell the world, hey, this movie doesn't exist. You know, if you want to, if you like it, if you think it looks good, let's make it. So I did a crowdfunder. We ended up making $80,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then we got independent backers, and his budget was a little bit more than that. But then, you know, we were scheduled to start filming in April of 2020, and everybody knows what happened then. So the world shut down and postponed us till August 31st. And you can, so yeah, we had to put it back till August 31st, and that's when we started the first day of shooting, and we filmed for almost 2 years. Because you know, we shot on the weekends. Everybody has jobs, you know. We had to work around people's schedules, and in the beginning, we got a lot done pretty quick, because like I said, no one was working at that time. We were able to get crew members and actors and everybody to pretty much, you know, work whenever, because there was no work. But once the world opened back up and we hadn't finished yet, it really got hard. We had to like wait on people. So we had other gigs going on and things like that. But we finally got it done. And it took about 2 years. So I guess the total time from conception to writing it, to shooting it, to editing it, over 5 years.
Wow.
So,
that's a long time.
Hell of a project. Yeah.
And release, we're thinking about sometime next year?
Yeah, we have a sales agent now. Our sales agent picked us up. He only takes a couple of films at a time. He has to actually like your movie to take you on as a client. And so, unlike a lot of sales agents that reach out to people and they try to represent you, and they're half the time they're shady people. I did a lot of research on this guy, and I reached out to him. And again, that was his reply. I got to see your movie. I got to see if it's if I think it's marketable, if I think I can sell it, if it's going to be something that's worth my while. And the same day I sent it to him, a couple hours later, he wrote me back saying, "Man, that movie's fucking great." He goes, "I'm in." So we did it, and we had, he's pretty confident we'll get a pretty good deal. And but we want to try to do Slam Dance Film Festival that takes place in I think it's called I can't remember that town. It's the same town that Sundance is at. I can't remember what it's called. Something Winners something Utah. I don't know. Park City. Yeah, Park City, Utah. It happens in the same town at the same time as Sundance.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So that we like buyers go there. A lot of people that go to Sundance will go to see these movies at Slam Dance, and they're basically not the artsy fartsy. There's a lot of horror, a lot of off the wall, just crazy movies you'd never see at Sundance. You can see them at Slam Dance. So we're trying to get into there. If we get in, great. And after it's done, we'll go for selling. If we don't get in, the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and set the sales agent loose and see what happens. But we should by the next year be on the streaming sites, DVDs, Blu-rays, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Now, were there any kills scenes in the movie? Did you think to yourself, "Whoa, I think I'm going too far"?
Never.
Okay.
No, I topped myself on my next film. On the next film, maybe I did. I haven't done it yet, but I've written it. And like, oh my God, I'm sick. but no, these were pretty badass, but they're pretty standard, fun, 80s style kills. But no, not too far, not yet.
Okay.
I did cut a girl's tits off in it. I'll tell you that. So maybe some people might think that's too far, but.
So, okay, this is a 80s style slasher, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of tits in this movie.
The opening scene's a sex scene, brother. As soon as it opens on a sex scene in the car.
Okay.
So, absolutely, bro. You got to. And you catch shit sometimes in today's climate. People are like, "Oh, you had to put naked girls." Well, I'm doing an homage tribute film. Of course, I'm doing it.
It's not worse than watching that 80s style horror movie. I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but and there is no tits. Like,
yeah,
if you're going that route, you got to put the tits on.
You got to have sex, drugs, and blood. Those are three things you got to have. You got to have idiot characters making bad choices and dying miserably, and you got to cheer for the killer.
Yes, 100%.
So you have to do those things, or you're probably, well, I won't say you're going to fail, but those are things they expect. And
you're making an 80s. You're not making an 80s slasher. You're making like a 90s, 2000 slasher at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. You're making Scream. And Scream is a great movie. And they did those nods, but again, it was like, okay, no boobs in it.
Was running around braless, but
yeah.
The shirt and everything up, but
and my actresses were troopers, man. They all did it. It was they're like, yeah, it's an 80s movie. Of course I'm gonna do it.
I was what's the conversation with an actress where you say, "Hey, listen,
oh God,
it's out."
It's very uncomfortable. You have to do it before you even cast them in the film. You have the conversation and you tell them, look, this is what I'm going to need you to do if you even want. I don't want to waste anybody's time. especially your time, my time, we're all busy. If you're not willing to do these things, then maybe this isn't the role for you. But if you are, then let's give this a shot. And a lot of really talented actresses, said no, and I fault nobody for that. It's a brave thing. It's a brave thing for them to do it. But they were, like I said, they were all troopers and they did it. And, the fans thanked them. I had one, I won't say which one, but one of the actors like, I know people are going to pause the damn thing when they get to my scene. Like, yep. They probably are. It's going to be screenshot. It'll live on the internet.
So one amazing thing that you actually talked about it a little bit, and one amazing thing that you do is you go to cons. You're really available at cons, and like indie, especially in the indie horror scene, being out and available amongst fans, introducing yourself is very important. Marketing is extremely important, especially in indie film making.
Yeah, it's an absolute must, and for any independent filmmaker that's not doing it, you're doing yourself a disservice, especially in the horror world, because horror fans, they love horror of all kinds. They don't care if it's cheap, it's indie, if it's mainstream. The fans are the greatest fans there are, period. And so you got to go. Just even if you don't have a movie, like I didn't have Butcher's Bluff, I still don't have it. I still go to cons. I sell merchandise. I sell my merchandise and people buy it because I have a cool image. The Hogman's cool. I put the suit on a mannequin, and people come there and they take pictures with it, and I play the trailer on a laptop, and I'm talking to fans, and honestly, I was able to get Paul T. Taylor, who was Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment, just by going to the con and asking him, say, hey, you're in Texas, you want to do a local movie? And he's like, well, let me see a script. I met Bill Johnson at a Fangoria Film Festival in Austin. He was Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. We became friends. I've known him since 2006. We've been friends for a long time. He's done several projects with me. So yeah, it's just a lot of times it's just going to those things. I got Bill Oberst Jr. in here. He's like an icon with indie film, and he's a fantastic actor. If you don't know who he is, I need to look him up.
Yes.
But I met him at a con, and he noticed my table had a lot of people at it. And when I went over to say hi to him, he had told me, he said, what is that? What are you doing? And I told him, he gave me his card. He's like, look, I'd like to work with you sometime. I like to play psychopaths, and give me a call.
Mm-hmm.
And basically how we got Bill was, then COVID happened, and I had Bill Johnson already cast in that role. And Bill Johnson wouldn't do it until there was a vaccine. He was like, nah, I just can't. He's a little bit older, and so I said, I can't fault you for that. Your health's important. So I was kind of banging the walls, kind of figuring out, okay, I got to find an actor to replace him. Because Bill Johnson's got a degree in acting. I mean, he's like this theatrical Shakespearean actor. So I'm like, where am I going to find an actor that's good? And then I looked down, and there was Bill Oberst's car. I'm like, God, well, this is the next best thing. He's just as good. I'll get this guy. So I called him. I just called him on the phone. He answered the phone. He remembered me immediately. And the weirdest thing is, he goes, this is strange because I was just talking to my manager about you about 3 days ago. And I hadn't seen him in months. He said they saw my trailer on the internet, and they were talking about how cool it looked. And he was saying he wanted to do that kind of a movie. And then I called him. So it was fate. And and it still worked out. Bill Johnson still made a cameo in the film after he was able to get vaccinated and all that stuff. We had to do some movie magic. I mean, I guess I'll do a little spoil for him, but he's not in the scene like you think he's in the scene. Basically, we shot it months later. I stood in for him wearing a shirt, and then when I was talking to the actors. When we flip the camera around, it's months later, and it's just Bill sitting by himself in the bar. we closed the bar down because he still wasn't comfortable being around a lot of people. So it was just myself and 2 camera guys, and that was it. We filmed, and I just delivered the lines of the other actors for him. And that's one thing about being a writer. I knew every line of every character.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to just sit down whenever I needed to and feed them lines without even looking at the script because I knew what it was.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, marketing is huge. But I'm a marketing guy, so I say it a lot. The Terrifier guys, I didn't even know. I knew who they were before that I even knew what it was, because they were at every single convention. They're still at every single horror convention. You cannot go to, even when the first one came out, you cannot go to a horror convention and not see them. They're at every single convention, friendly. Hey, how's it going? Let me tell you about Terrifier. Like, by the end, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th convention I saw them. I was like, what is this Terrifier thing? Let me watch this. Boom.
Yep. I recently met Damien at a Texas Frightmare in Dallas, and I had a really nice conversation with him, and basically said, look, man, 5-6 years ago, you were me. Now, I see you sitting where you're at, and you're a big inspiration to a lot of guys like me because he did it. He made it, Yeah. He was one of those guys that didn't give up. He pounded the pavements. He did, like you said, was everywhere, putting it out there, and it paid off. So, he's definitely somebody I have a lot of respect for.
Sometimes you had to put in that extra
Yeah, that's one of the things also is like, when you get a distribution deal, I was talking to my sales agent about it. He's like, it's not over there. A lot of independent filmmakers kind of just assume, okay, I got a distribution. They're going to do all the advertisement for you. It doesn't work that way. You still got to advertise your film. You still got to buy ads on social media. You still got to go to cons. You still got to be pushing the hell out of it. Even though you're moving on to other projects, you still got to make time for that thing you put so much into it. Like, again, I put, at least 5 to 6 years of my life into Butcher's Bluff. I'm not just going to step away from it and move on to my next project, which I've already got another project that I'm working on. But I always circle back and make sure that I didn't waste that time, marketing. Yeah, you're right. It's a big, big deal because we don't have studios doing it for us.
No.
You can't rely on nobody but yourself.
You do. And speaking of cons, you're going to be at MonsterCon 2023 in San Antonio, Texas. September 23rd.
San Antonio, yeah.
That's 23rd.
Yes, sir. And 24th. Yeah. It's a free con. They do it in San Antonio at a shopping mall.
Really?
So it's free for anybody. Yeah, it's free. It's like where all the kiosk things are at, in the old shopping malls. They basically, they're still there, but they all around the stores they have booths. And there's about 150 vendors and stuff there, and then they have I'm nobody, but I'm with the indie actors and filmmakers, and then they have a few people who've done some stuff. I think Robert Muke's is going to be there from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Nice.
I don't remember the dude's name, but he was Harry Warden in the remake of My Bloody Valentine. Michael Hargrove, I believe his name. He was the new Candyman.
Yes,
super cool guy.
I met him. Nice guy.
Yeah, he'll be there. Oh yeah, I've met him too. We were at a convention in San Antonio, and he was my neighbor. And he's such a cool dude. He came over afterwards. He says, "Hey, I want to get a picture with you in this suit because I think you're going to be famous. I want to say I had it first." I'm like, dude, I was like, that was so cool of you to say, So super cool guy. If you're in San Antonio, go say hi to him, or anywhere you see him.
Anywhere you see him. I actually met him.
Such a nice guy.
Like 2 years ago. I met him here in Maryland 2 years ago at a convention. Nice guy. Talked to me, chatted.
Yeah.
Didn't charge me for a picture.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He's just a cool dude, And we have a couple of chainsaw people are going to be there. I think Ed Gwynn, the truck driver for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, will be there. So it's a fun free con in San Antonio. I do it every year. Well, not every year, but I've done it the last 3. I did it a couple of years back when I did my first zombie film. It was a short film that I did, and I was making zombies while I was there and let people watch me make zombies. I'm I'm a hobbyist makeup artist, but I can make a pretty badass zombie. So I've won several awards. I've won several awards for my makeup effects for zombies.
Awesome. Well, as you know, this is a horror show. So now I'm going to ask you two random horror questions. All right. First question.
Okay.
Okay. Have you seen Pearl?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen him.
Okay. Well, okay. All right. F, Mary, Kill. Are you ready? The new Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Okay. The female one?
Yes, the female one. Yes. Yeah. And we're going to go with Natasha Hendricks' character in the movie Species. I don't remember if you remember the movie Species.
I remember Species, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the final one is going to be I wanted to go with Pearl, but you didn't see Pearl. Okay. I am going to toss in, The Bride of Frankenstein. The Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay.
So you got to marry one, you got to kill one, and you got to F one.
Okay. Let's just kill Pinhead off because the head, the spike, she done. Yeah, you bang the Species because she's just gonna fuck you up. So Bride's just a zombie. So yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good scenario.
Yeah, I knew who Pearl was though. I couldn't have answered that. She probably would have won.
Pearl. See, but Pearl's a crazy bitch. Pearl's a good time and anything, but don't piss her off because she's gonna murder you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very clingy. All right. The second question. What horror movie series, iconic series, do you wish they would stop making movies? Like
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That crap on Netflix though. Stop. I'm from Texas. They made a damn Texas Chainsaw Massacre in like it was a Romania or Bolivia or some crap like that. That's not Texas. Come on. Stop making that shit.
That and Saw. I agree. Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Saw, please stop.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched Saw 1 and 2. I never saw another one, but this last one was pretty damn good.
I watched 1 and 2, and I watched the last one, which was Spiral. But the only reason I watched that one because I saw the Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rocco, and I was like, well, what the fuck is that going to look like? It was horrible.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. I hadn't seen it. I like the mainstream stuff.
Oh, there you go. You're back. Okay.
Texas Chainsaw, man. I'm in Texas. If they want to remake it, let me do it.
I'll
make it right.
please make it right because the last 4. I'm trying to think. So the one that was on Netflix that was awful. That was a piece of shit.
Right.
And then before that, it was one on Sci-Fi where it was like a prequel to finding out.
Yeah, like Leatherface. I never watched that either. So,
but that was a piece of crap. Mm-hmm. And then before that, it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Horrible. I actually saw that in the movie.
That was absolutely horrible. Yeah, I went to the theater and saw that because I do like the actress. I didn't lie.
Yeah,
she's very pleasing to the eyes.
What's her name?
Actually, both of the ladies.
Yes.
Alexandra Daddario.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so both the chicks are there. Your women viewers are gonna hate me. They think I'm. I'm sorry. I'm not really that bad. I'm just really not. But yes, I did go see them for her.
I like the two remakes. I thought they
great, man.
the two
great.
remakes.
I loved them.
They should have stopped it.
I thought the beginning was awesome, but Arlie Ermy is what really made those movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was so good at it, And I loved how the chick blows her brains out in the back of the car. I mean, that was sick.
Those were.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that they were better than the original, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like Texas Chainsaw 2 better than I like the original. The original is kind of boring to me, but it's one of the movies where one of those movies that it was iconic, and it was because of what it did. It always has that place of like being high up there, because of what it did. Scary wise, it was realistic, gritty, and so stylistically, I take a lot from that because I like to make things that are gritty and dark and dirty looking. But story wise, it's not bad. But again, it's just kind of boring. And I hate to say it, the acting is terrible in it. So I have a hard time getting through it because the acting is so bad. I mean, Ed Neal was good in it, the hitchhiker, and then it's the Cito, the cook, he was really good in it. But the kids acting in it was terrible. So when I saw part 2, loved it.
Yeah. Now part 3 was a train wreck as well as
part 3. Oh no, I love part 3. It's hilarious.
Really?
It was hilarious. Yes, that one was funny to me. I mean, though it was one of those ones like, okay, they really went off the deep end with this one. But I thought there'd never be another one after this. Like, no way they're ever going to make another one.
And then he made Next Generation, which was the biggest. That was.
McConaughey was good in it.
Matthew McConaughey was amazing.
He was really good, and I actually got one of the actors from that movie in Butcher's Bluff. Tyler Shea Cohn is in there. He was doing the tuxedo. It was a douchebag in part 4. He gets hit with the hammer on the porch. Yeah, Tyler, he's a good dude. And I had him. He's in Butcher's Bluff. So, but I told him I didn't like the movie. I don't think it was good about it. Was Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey was awesome. That was it.
That's definitely the worst one. No, yeah, that one is the worst one in the. Yeah, that's the worst one in the series. 3D. If I had to rank them, I'm gonna rank mine real quick. That one is the worst. Next Generation, then the 3D is the one right above it. Then I'm putting number 3.
I said that remake on Netflix, and that other prequel are worse than both of those. Neither one of those guys. They're at the absolute bottom of the shit pile.
The one I was so looking forward to that. That came out during COVID. There was nothing out, and like I was like, oh my god, they're gonna release this motherfucker straight on the Netflix, and like, I mean, some of the most hateable fucking characters. The characters. It's bad.
They got it.
It's bad that the redneck, played by I can't think of the name actor, but the redneck who was a gun freak, I liked him more than anybody.
Yep. Because I mean, like I said earlier, a lot of times in those 80s films, you made characters that you were rooting for the one to kill, but you got to have some type of quality to them to make them to just be like, okay, I want this guy to die, but you got to feel like something. Except cheering, like, I'm gonna kill this, I'm gonna chainsaw this whole bus full of kids, and they're like, yeah,
everybody,
every one of them.
I was like, kill everybody in that fucking movie.
Kill them all because they were terrible.
I was like, even like the sister when she got her head cut off, I was like, yes, because her ass she was annoying. The most annoying character in a horror movie ever, I think, that I've seen in a while.
Well, it was obviously not written by a fan or made by a fan. It was easy money. The guy that played Leatherface did a good job, I think. I had nothing against him.
He's a nice guy.
His look, I think the mask looked cool. I mean, there were some good things to it. I can, if you want me to spot out the good things I liked about it, which I can find things I like about every movie. It was shot well, it was lit well. He looked cool. It
was decent.
Acting. Yeah, the kills were really cool in it. Really good body count. So there's things about it to where you could put it on, like, okay. But as a fan of the Leatherface character, I mean, it pales in comparison to the remakes. The 2004 remake and then the beginning. Those movies were badass.
And
they were really badass.
And the part I care about that movie the most, and you probably forgot about this, the final girl from the original, they brought her back as a fucking sheriff.
Yeah, that was dumb as shit.
Nuts. That fucking drove me nuts.
Stealing the whole storyline of the Halloween, you know.
Oh, that
Jamie Lee, she was not. It worked in Halloween, which I'm gonna not lie, I didn't really care for that because I liked Halloween 2 and the things that got rid of it. But it wasn't a bad movie. I mean, I said, okay, fine, they did it. I watched it and I enjoyed it. You know, and I thought Jamie Lee's character, like, that was good, you know. So, and how she trapped him at the end, I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this is good. This was a fun watch.
And they should have did it right there.
Yeah, should have been done. Yeah, there was no reason to do 2 more. But, you know, they did. And, you know, evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Ridiculous, but okay. And then yeah, let's go. And then the whole, like, let's let Michael live with the sewer and let's have, you know, 20 minutes of Michael Myers in the third one. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
I swear, like, it seems like recently every single one of my interviews leads into me bashing the hell out of the last Halloween trilogy.
Bro, they give you
a right in
dash. I mean, there's a saying that, and we're kind of being guilty of it, I guess. There's like, for horror fans, we sure do hate horror movies.
We really do. And watch
like, you know,
the shit over and over.
And I don't.
The money.
Yeah, I watched the classics because they did it right, you know. So yeah.
William, where can everyone find you?
I'm easy to find. Ladies, if you're angry at me, please don't don't come stalking me. I'm just playing. I'm trying to be a fun interview. That's all. I'm easy to find. Jesus Christ.
Joking.
Let me at least get something before you cancel me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be canceled. But, you know, let me have just a taste of it before that happens. I'll be picking up shit from fucking 2016. Like, he said that? Yeah, I did. No, I'm on Facebook. William Martin Stone. I'm on Instagram. William Martin Stone. There's Butcher's Bluff, the official Butcher's Bluff fan page on Facebook, and then Butcher's Bluff movie on Instagram. I don't really do the Twitter X thing. Not that I have anything against Elon. He lives here, like outside here, or his company's here, and they employ a lot of my friends, so I can't hate on it. So they give my friends jobs. So there you go. I just never got into it, even when it was Twitter. I just don't understand it because I'm an idiot with technology. So Facebook's easy. So that's where I'm easy to find. I'm always down to help any filmmakers if you have questions or anything you want to ask. Not that I'm the most qualified person to answer your questions, but if I can, I will. And if you want a big, ugly, scary, hairy guy to be acting in the movie, I'm pretty cheap. So hit me up.
Guys, definitely check him out and check out that 2-minute, right under 2-minute trailer of The Butcher's Bluff.
Yeah. While you're at it, watch all of them.
Watch all of them. Sit there and watch all of them. And allow those views. But also, too, if you're out in San Antonio, the weekend of the 23rd and 24th, swing by the MonsterCon and say hi as well.
I'll have all kinds of merchandise there. We've got cool looking stuff. If you haven't seen the Hogman, you will.
Well, William, I'm gonna have you back on next year so we can promote the hell out of this movie when it's released.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. It was fun.
Most definitely. Thank you for coming on. All
Thanks
right.
for having me, man.
Thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.